DuckTalks is part of Res TV's network of podcasts. Check out res.tv for other great podcasts. It's the week of Tuesday, April the 30th, and you're listening to episode 67 of DuckTalks. Welcome to another episode of DuckTalks. If this is your first time, thanks for joining us. Glad you found us. If this is not your first time, thanks for coming back. We're the podcast that talks about DuckTales. Not only DuckTales, but we also like to talk about the Disney afternoon and a bunch of other Disney stuff, but no in-game spoilers here, despite what my co-host may say. My name's Mitch. I'm one of your hosts. Joining me, I have Pirate Steven and Josh.
Ahoy.
Hey, guys.
See, I tried something new again this week and just threw your names out all at one time.
It worked.
I like it.
Are you sure we can't talk about how Darkwing Duck shows up in Endgame? And...
No. I've already promised them no in-game spoilers. We can't go back on that. Or we start getting banned from the internet and stuff. Man, it's been hard. Josh saw it today. Pirate got to see it opening weekend.
I did. Opening night. I have yet to see it. Still haven't seen Captain Marvel, but I've given up on the hope of seeing it before Endgame. And this week at work, I've had to walk around with headphones on everywhere I go. I've had 3 conversations spring up next to me at my desk, and I've had to ask people to walk away. Just keep walking.
Well, you have to let us know when you watch it, because I thought it was really good, and I shed a little bit of tears. So I think it was really dusty in the the theater.
That's borderline spoiler. You're getting awfully close.
Yeah,
there,
you
Josh.
have to mute his mic.
You're getting awful close. No, we'll be staying away from that. We've got lots of stuff to talk about when it comes to DuckTales, though, and a few things DuckTales related. We're going to get into that. We would like to let everyone know that you can go to our blog, DuckTalks.com, check out the news. All of our notes actually come from our blog. That's why we created it. It's been very handy, and people are really enjoying it. This month, me and Pirate were just talking about it. We crushed the numbers, our previous records for traffic over the last few months, which have just been increasing every month. So we're very thankful for that.
Yeah, we had over 75,000 views for the month of April, which is our new record. And this just encourages us to make more content. So the more views, the more comments, the more interaction, the more praise will definitely get us working even harder to get all the great content out to everybody out there.
Yeah, between us, we compete with ourselves. We're constantly... looking at how we did versus last year or last month. Of course, last year we were just getting started, so those numbers, they're usually just for us to have a good laugh. But when it comes to this year, we're comparing the last few months, and we're also looking at, what blogs people liked, what blogs people found. So we're trying to, branch out on some of our content. We've added some contributors. We've had some other DuckTales fans come alongside us. That we've, they've had some great blogs that they've written, and we've asked if they'd be interested in writing and putting it on our site, and they've been game for that, and that's been very cool. I've really enjoyed seeing people want to participate, because that's why we do this. We did want to take a moment. I added this to the notes kind of late, so I hope you guys got them. We've got some feedback over on iTunes. One thing I want to say, I know our podcast can be heard on other podcatchers, but we typically talk about iTunes because all 3 of us are on that platform. If you're listening to us on Google Play or I don't think you can do reviews on Spotify, but if you're listening to us on any other type of podcatcher, if you don't mind, if you write us a review, send it to us. You can send it to our email address. DuckTalkspod@gmail.com. And we'd love to read that. So we got a couple. Our number of reviews not reviews. Reviews are where they type something. Whatever it's called, when you give us a rating, I guess. Our number of ratings have gone up, so we appreciate that. And we've also seen an increase of reviews. We've had 2 new reviews. The first one titled Woohoo, appropriate, and it's from M. Sassman. And they said, great podcast to go with a great show. We appreciate that. And then Chef B, great podcast and blog to follow. And they said, newer follower, but love to hear others with such a passion for DuckTales, old and new. And we really appreciate that. We do. We love the new show. We enjoy the new show. We like everything they're doing with the new show. They've not disappointed us yet. But we also love the old stuff. And we kind of embrace both of those. And we've branched out into the comics as well. So we really appreciate that. You would share that review with others because it helps us reach more people.
No, we really appreciate all the interaction we've had with the community, and like Mitch was saying, we don't really make any money off of it, but we get to interact with the show producers and a lot of the voice cast, which is kind of I think more of our reward than anything. But yeah, we really appreciate just the community for kind of coming with us. We kind of started it with humble beginnings, and now we have at least people that have a community with us, and it just is really awesome to kind of bring that conversation with other people.
Josh, do you have a pet bird?
No, it's the bird outside. I always have animals outside that make a lot of noise.
Well, there's a bird there.
You know, what's funny is with the neighbor's dog, and I don't know how often we've actually talked about it on the podcast, but Josh has a dog next door that sometimes gets worked up. And a lot of times I can cut it out until the dog gets worked up and he's talking and I can't pull it out. So every now and then there's a random bark going on and no one's ever commented on it. I just always thought it was funny that no one's ever said anything.
I didn't even hear the bird until you said something, and now I can't unhear it.
We enjoy all the feedback, and like Josh said, being able to talk with people on the show, people creating the comics, doing documentaries, writing books, films, all this stuff. It's really cool, but it's also really cool when I get a real big kick out of the fact that someone posts something on Twitter or over on Tumblr or sends us an email sharing something that they've done or something that they've come across within the fandom. And I find that really cool that people share with us that way. So thank you for that too. We really do enjoy being part of your fandom. So feel free to reach out to us. Anytime you've got something DuckTales related or Disney Afternoon related and you're thinking about sending it to us, yes, we want to know about it. Go ahead and send it to us.
Yeah, like for example, I'll be in a meeting at work and Mitch will text me, did you see what they emailed us about DuckTales? And I'm like, hold on, let me step out of this meeting.
Well, and I was in a closet at work taking a break.
You can admit that again?
I didn't admit it this last time, did I? Or did you say admit?
Move on.
We're off the rails. People love the blooper reels, so I'm shooting for the edit. I'm Michael Bay. Hey, did you guys check out Disney Fan Fest?
I wasn't there personally, but I felt like I was because Disney had a great coverage of the event, live streaming it, publishing it on YouTube. I mean, it's all there. If you live overseas, if you don't live anywhere near California, you can feel like you've been there if you watch the video.
Now, is YouTube, I know YouTube's international, but are there like regions for YouTube or can anybody see it?
If they have the link, most people can see it. I don't know about China, because when I was in China, it was hard to get a lot of different channels, but
yeah.
You can see it overseas.
That's cool. I've wondered that. I've never known, but it was very cool. I was working around the house on Saturday. Had a number of projects I'm still working on, and realized it was time for it. So I turned on the television and went to the Disney Now app and never found it. And so I went to Twitter and asked, and some other fans said, "Hey, you dummy, it's on YouTube." But I thought it was supposed to be on the Disney Now app as well. I still haven't seen it on there. I didn't check this evening, though. But yeah, it's all on YouTube, and they've even divided it up into segments for the various shows and segments, the word I've already used. But it's really nice the way they've done it, and I finally got to sit down and watch what was it they called it? The Disney Animation Celebration panel later in the day. I haven't watched all of there was a parade earlier in the day, and I know some of the DuckTales cast and crew were in it. I haven't watched that yet, but I did include a video on YouTube that I found that does show the parade.
Yeah, let's just go back and talk FanFest. I mean, it's such a great service to fans, and we've talked about conventions before, and cons are a great way to get to interact with your favorite creative teams or voice actors or actors. But this FanFest, I mean, really all you need is a ticket to Disneyland, and you don't have to like pay for the extra cost of an autograph or taking pictures with any of these stars. And they had meet and greets available, and you get to see them in the parades and enjoy this panel. So I think those are great, and I wish there'd be more in Florida. But or more in general, or more in Disneyland, anywhere. But yeah, I wish I could have been there in person. But watching it on YouTube or wherever you're going to watch it is just as good, and you don't sweat as much because you're in your house. Hopefully, the air conditioning's on. But yeah, watch the panel. It's great, and it has DuckTales was the first ones on there, and then Big City Green. And Amphibia, and I'm a big fan of Amphibia and Big City Greens. And watching that, we watched this show before, but it was a cool panel.
Yeah, I haven't watched all of the panel, but I saw the DuckTales portion. But as far as Amphibia, I did see the sneak peek in the opening. They revealed both of those, and that was very cool. The girls are looking forward to it. I think we're going to be fans of the show. And Big City Greens is fun. It's not something I'll follow closely. I need to sit down and watch it. But the episodes that I've seen, I laughed a lot. But yeah, the panel was great. There's a blog. I've got a couple of videos on the blog, I've embedded the videos. So it's the videos the Disney Channel has, and you can go watch them at DuckTalks.com.
The people that were there were Frank Angones and Matt Youngberg and Colleen Evanson, who's one of the writers, and Danny Pudi and Bobby Moynihan. And they're incredibly funny, and they did a cool like improv of writing a DuckTales episode and telling you all the different things you need to write an episode of DuckTales. So it's hilarious.
Yeah, and Sam Riegel was there as well. Now, he was hosting the entire panel, but he is the voice director of DuckTales. So he works on the show with all the cast, which is why he jumped in at one point and participates, because they were missing Ben Schwartz. So he fills in for Dewey. Spoiler alert. We're going to title this one the episode with spoilers. No, nobody will listen to it. I can't do that. Nobody will listen to it. They'll put it together, and they'll be like, oh, those guys just went full endgame on us. We had some other news this week that came out. Did this come out like right after we had recorded or something? Seems like it was. Or maybe right before I put out the episode. John D. Rockerduck. We knew the character was coming. We saw it at the San Diego panel months ago. Close to a year ago, I guess. But we knew the character was coming. We saw the design. Well, the voice actor is John. Oh, that's the character he's playing. John Hodgman is voicing John D. Rockerduck, and he went to, I believe it was Instagram originally, and announced that he's voicing the character, who will premiere on May 8th in the DuckTales episode The Outlaw Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, they announced it on, I think it was April 25th. I think it was the day after we recorded the last podcast. And this will be the first time I think anybody has voiced John Rockerduck. I don't really know much about him other than he was created with back in, I think it was 1961. It was a Carl Barks character that I think has a pretty big following still overseas. And they also gave a picture of him that we haven't seen before. It was different than the one that they showed at Comic-Con with him kind of sitting at a table. Yeah, he's all in white. He's got kind of a bowler hat on?
Yeah.
A white bowler hat.
Yeah, I would like to see him team up with Glomgold at some point. I think that'd be a fun, like buddy comedy.
Now, I think I've read some stories about Rockerduck in the IDW Uncle Scrooge comics. They're republishing or publishing for the first time comics from overseas, and I think he's been in a couple of those. But I know that the character was in some Don Rosa stories. Was it part of? It might have been part of Life and Times, where he's a little boy. He's like a spoiled little brat.
Yes, he's in a couple of Don Rosa stories. Usually when he's young. Yep. And
that's the extent of my knowledge, other than knowing that he is. You know what? He was also in the Boom Studios comic that's being produced in the Disney Afternoon Giant as well. He's in that, so that's my extent to being, and I guess that's what I was thinking of. It wasn't the Uncle Scrooge comics; it probably was Disney Afternoon Giant. But I'm excited about the character and the episode, the Outlaw Scrooge McDuck. Now, I think it was the last episode that I was making predictions, and I was thinking the 87-cent solution might be the time travel. 1887 possibly, and that's why we saw everyone in different clothing and maybe a time travel. It doesn't look like that's the case. It looks like it's going to be the Outlaw Scrooge McDuck is going to be the story set in the past. Maybe it's going to be something they remember. Maybe Rockerduck comes back and Scrooge tells the nephews the tale of how he and Goldie, because we saw her in that production, in a production still or that design in the same slide as the Scrooge and Rockerduck. One thing, I've got it in the notes. I think it's actually down. We've got some feedback that we're going to talk about as well. But one of the responses to our feedback was from Joey Wheeler, and Joey's been following along with us on Twitter since the very beginning of our podcast. And they said there was an episode description for this episode. Now, I've not seen this anywhere else, and they haven't answered yet where this was found. But the description reads, this could be rumor, I don't know. So if you don't want to hear this, go 10 seconds forward. In the Wild West, Scrooge and Goldie form a group of outlaws and stage a robbery to save a small town from the corrupt businessman John D. Rockerduck. And that's an episode of DuckTales that I am ready for.
And this was one of the episodes that we did not know about previously before it was announced.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. We did not know about this in the original list of episodes that were coming in May.
Yes, because we went from Tuesday to Thursday, and then the following week had a Wednesday, and it was just all confusing. That's kind of been... and we had some guesses that maybe that was all going to be filled in, and we were going to get 2 full weeks of episodes. And Frank and Gonas has kind of confirmed that over on Tumblr. I can kind of jump into some Frankly Speaking that I realize I did not put in the notes, but I have it right here on my mobile device. Let me get to that. So Frank said over on Tumblr, he was asked, and this was from Super Bookcat, if there are supposed to be 2 full weeks of new DuckTales episodes in May, how come there aren't any revealed episodes for May 6th and May 17th? And Frank says May 6th, I believe, is a rerun of Whatever Happened to Donald Duck. to catch new viewers up. So the beginning of every day in May will be Whatever Happened to Della Duck. Then we'll get into the episodes we know about, including this episode on the 8th. And then he says on the 17th, that's still a secret. So insert,
Insert episode 216.
Yes. I still think we're getting that Launchpad episode.
Maybe they just don't want the description out there yet because it's a spoiler.
Could be. Yeah, and the episode title probably gives it away too. But I think it's cool that they're holding something back. I still think I'm surprised by it because usually this information is online by now. As I say that, I'm going to Google.
Well, I don't know if this is a good segue into the promo that we got, but we did get a promo of scenes of upcoming episodes. And some of the scenes, I don't know if they match the descriptions of what we've seen before.
Yeah, so the new promo for the May episodes included a lot of images that we had not seen. A lot of potential plot points here. We saw some images of the boys dealing with the ghost with the skull hat and the horns, which we know to be I'm having a moment. One of my all-time favorite characters is Duckworth, and I don't know why I could not come up with his name. Yeah, so we know the character to be Duckworth, but maybe there's something going on with him because they're very afraid of him, and it's a funny moment. We also had images of Lena in the background with the new Violet character, who also we can consider this, frankly speaking. We found out, we were discussing this last week as to what kind of bird Violet is. Frank answered that as well over on Tumblr. Trixie Lulame says, what kind of bird is Violet anyway? And Frank says her name is Violet Saw Brewing. She has a Violet Saw Brewing. Or Say Brewing? Sabrewing. Say Brewing. I'm not familiar with that bird. So, but anyway, that's Violet. And the amulet. I don't know if you guys noticed this in the clip. I've got some screenshots in our notes. The amulet that Lena was wearing is in the shot. So we know that to be from the Friendship Hates Magic episode that's been pushed back. We don't know where the Duckworth episode is. I don't think it matches any of the descriptions we've read. So that's another episode. We also see Beakley in Darkwing Duck attire.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
that one doesn't really match any descriptions, does it?
Yeah, I'm thinking that's the 216. My fan theory. I'm going to share my fan theory. Launchpad, Beakley, date, comic convention, or pop convention. Okay, not really a date. Like, they go out, but as buddies.
Has Beakley shown any interest in, like, that kind of stuff?
See,
prior?
No. I'm still thinking Dark, because we know Darkwing's got to fit into DuckTales somehow. Beyond the show, beyond there being a television show, I still think that was all a cover. Like, imagine it turned out that Adam West had been a spy all along, and the whole Batman thing was to throw everybody off. I think that's what Drake Mallard, a.k.a. Jim Starling, is in the DuckTales universe. That's just my fan theory. But if he's a spy and Beakley's a spy, maybe that's why she is actually a fan as well. Or maybe she grew up with it. She's probably about the right age. The next image is something that has become more familiar to us now, but at the time, and this is not just next image, I took screenshots of the images we hadn't seen, or the scenes we hadn't seen. Is of Scrooge with a katana in front of, right in the frame, and a hand, and Scrooge looking like he's in trouble. One of my favorite scenes. That will definitely end up being the cover to one of our episodes, I'm sure. Because if you haven't picked up on it, I like using the goofy faces. when the characters make a funny face or when it's a really cool scene, that's usually what I gravitate towards. Anyway, and then we got a scene of Della flying back to the Earth, or at least taking off, and she's got tears in her eyes. So that was all in this promo, man. It was not expecting it. What'd you guys think?
It's a great promo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Mrs. Beakley as Darkwing obviously is my most anticipated moment. But it's a lot of action-packed May. This May is gonna be crazy. I mean, Aunt May is my favorite May, Marissa Tomei. But this May is gonna be crazy, cray.
Was that another in-game spoiler?
May.
No.
I got what you said there. Maybe.
Uh-huh. Oh, May's going to be a killer.
Yeah, there's going to be so many new episodes this month. It's going to be insane. I don't know how we're going to cover it, but we'll find a way.
Well, and we'll add this to the mix. We don't ever talk about, like, beforehand. We don't say we have so-and-so coming on the podcast on a certain date, just in case things change, because sometimes things change. But I can say this. We have someone scheduled to be on the podcast in May, and it's freaking us out because there's so many episodes of the show to cover, and we're really excited about that interview.
Ooh, is that a spoiler? No.
No, I'm not going to tell who. There was one scene in that promo that was exciting. I've already mentioned it, the part with Scrooge and the funny face. With the fan fest that took place this weekend, they also showed a never-before-seen clip of Treasure of the Found Lamp. Not to be mistaken with the DuckTales movie, Treasure of the Lost Lamp. No, this is an episode of DuckTales. Treasure of the Found Lamp. Just want to make sure that's clear. But we got to see a clip from it, and I'm guessing it's probably the opening of the episode. I almost imagine the DuckTales title pops in there somewhere. But we see a lot happens, and I tell you, the animation on this clip seemed to be better than anything we'd seen before. Did you guys feel that? I mean, like, just the way everything was set up, and the lighting in the in the animation, in the design, and everything. I just thought it was really great.
It sure was.
I was waiting on that Steve was going to say something.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. The animation of it was really cool. It like kind of, I don't know. They changed how I guess the main character you see in the promo is Dijon, and in the original he's kind of a quirky, like accident-prone character, and in this he's kind of like a cool ninja Arabian spy kind of guy. I don't know. He's just really, really cool, and like I'm kind of curious to see what they're gonna do with them. And the one thing that in this promo, I don't know how much we're gonna cover of it, but the part with Huey, because Dijon kind of sneaks into the mansion trying to find the lost lamp, and Huey's brushing his teeth, and it's just kind of like all over his face. It's just that part just made me laugh because he was like talking and just had like toothpaste all in his beak.
Yeah, and the sleep cap. The sleep cap cracks me
and
up.
The sleep cap. Yeah, he always has a cap on, even when he sleeps.
He's on model.
He's on model, yeah. But Dijon seems to be looking for the found lamp, I guess the one that Scrooge already found. But it looks like they used the same kind of picture of like the original, like from the movie that they had for the genie there.
Yeah, and I believe at San Diego Comic-Con, Frank said something about like Webby and her friends going up against Dijon. So
friends, plural?
Friends. So I don't know if that maybe Lena's back by then, or new friend Violet.
Maybe she's made some friends along the way. I was trying to pull up the descriptions, and it's just taking forever. Because I think we have a description of that episode as well. As the boys track a missing artifact across Duckburg, Scrooge and Webby stall the warrior looking for it with a phony quest. But I remember Frank bringing that up as well. So maybe there are other people. Maybe Webby gets her, some other people involved.
Yeah, and we remember from this promo, Webby's excited by this new character, and she loves how mysterious he is. So
yeah, she's like, I love everything about you. After he's threatened their lives. Now, one thing I thought was interesting from FanFest when Frank Angonis, co-producer of DuckTales, was introducing the clip, he made mention that it involves a new hero to the show. So that has me looking at this character a little differently. And I know we all associate him with Dijon, but Huey calls him Mr. Jin at one point. I mean, do you think that's... I mean, Dijon didn't have any additional names in Treasure of the Lost Lamp, did he? Dijon Jin?
I don't know. He's kind of... I mean, he's a totally different redesign of the character. He looks a lot smarter.
Yeah.
In this design. But, we have... When there's a lamp, there's a genie. So who knows if we'll see the genie from DuckTales movie appear as well.
Even if it's like at the very end, like a short cameo, I would expect something.
Either Dijon or the genie could be the new hero.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, that's all coming in May.
I don't see anything with his last name. But actually, one of the things that kind of interests me about this episode is it kind of it seems like Scrooge has found the lamp, but like has misplaced it and didn't know what it was.
Well, we saw it. I know. I could tell him where it is right now. It was in the garage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we saw it.
We saw it in that. Well, they didn't ask us, but it was in that very first pilot episode. Woohoo! It was one of the things that I believe Louis claims with his Post-it notes.
So maybe Louis has it in his room.
That is
There was an original episode of DuckTales. I think it's called The Golden Goose, where it's got Dijon in it, strangely enough. But Scrooge finds this golden goose and doesn't know that it turns anything to gold, and he is going to like sell it. And then so it kind of, I don't know, kind of seems like a little similar where he got something he doesn't know what he has that is something that could be valuable.
We don't have to wait long to find out, though. Going to get a lot of DuckTales.
I wonder if it's going to have his brother in the episode, because Dijon in the original has a brother named Poupon.
I've forgotten about that.
Honey Dijon and Poupon.
Oh man, that's great stuff.
And in the movie, there was that wizard that was voiced by Christopher Lloyd.
Yes, I didn't realize that was Christopher Lloyd until I went back and watched the movie not long ago with the girls, and I was like, "That voice, is that Doc Brown?"
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Lloyd's gonna be a MegaCon, so there's another DuckTales related.
Oh, you have to take your DVD to get it signed. I wonder how often he's signed a case to DuckTales the movie.
DuckTales movie, yeah.
See, that's one of the things I like to get signed. Take my DVD
random
cases.
Hey, Michael J. Fox, can you hold this this DuckTales movie thing while I get him to sign it?
Yeah. Will you hold the case while I pull the slip out to get it signed?
You can't sign it though because you weren't in that movie.
Yeah. Great job in Doc Hollywood. I ruined it. Never mind. Doc Holliday.
That's gonna go. Yeah.
Were you in Tombstone?
No.
Oh, anyway. Emoji Blitz. I think you wanted to talk about this, Pirate.
Yeah, it's funny because the other day, Disney Emoji Blitz posts pretty much what they're going to do for the whole month. And last month I said, hey, how about some DuckTales or some Disney Afternoon? And they kind of giggled emoji back at me. And lo and behold, the May events are on, and there's going to be a Disney Afternoon event in mid-May. And they kind of tease the emojis, and it's going to be probably more Rescue Rangers focused because we already got the DuckTales one more recently. And in the diamond boxes, I'm expecting Chip and Dale, which we've already have those, but there's going to be a Gadget and Monterey Jack, which is awesome. So I'm saving all my diamonds, and I'm going to purchase a diamond box that night. And we'll definitely have a event game guide because those blogs are soon to be popular. But we'll cover that event, and it will be cool. You all have to save your diamonds so you can get some cool emojis.
Yeah, I'm doing the update right now. Apparently, Facebook logged me out. I've not been playing it recently because I've been playing the Disney Heroes, but I do enjoy Emoji Blitz, especially when they do anything Disney Afternoon related. And I do still need Dale, so I am in on this. You said it's middle of May?
Yes, mid-May. I'm getting the exact dates now, but
well, I just got 10,000 gold coins because I got 8th place on the leaderboard.
8th place, nice.
I didn't play. Yeah, I haven't played it much since the new company took it over, Jam City. Not anything that they did. I just got out of playing it because I was playing other things. But I am logged back in now, and there's actually some people I know playing that it's connected me to, and you're on there. There goes ever getting number 1.
It's true. So the Disney Afternoon item card event is from May 10th through the 13th.
Okay. Well, I'll be saving up some. It's diamonds or jewels?
Yeah. So I would expect a lot of, and if you're not going for the character emojis and you just play the item card event, you will unlock a lot of items from the Disney Afternoon shows, like maybe a Sun Chaser or Rescue Rangers with logo and things like that.
You've also been doing some visits to Walmart recently, I saw.
Oh my! I've been doing so much. Thanks for reminding me that I went to Walmart. So May 1st is supposed to be the official release date for the Disney Lego minifigure Series 2. But it seems like Walmart, good old Walmart, they'll put things out whenever they have it. And I was able to get my hands on several packs of the blind packs of the series, and I got pretty lucky. I got 16 out of the 18 minifigures that are in the series. I mean, they have some great ones like Steamboat Willie and Steamboat Minnie, and Hades and Hercules and Jafar and Jasmine and several great characters. But the main attraction, of course, is there's DuckTales. So there's Scrooge McDuck, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Fortunately, Huey, Dewey, and Louie are the rare ones in this series. So if there's a case of these packs, there's only 2 of each of the nephews, where all the other characters might have 3 or 4 of them in it. So they're a little bit rare and hard to find. So I'm actually missing Huey and Dewey, but they will be mine. Oh, yes, they will be mine.
And you're working on 3 complete sets?
Not complete sets, but the my 2 oldest boys want a DuckTale set each. So, yeah, 3 complete sets.
Yeah, I think it was on Friday when we first. Was it you? Were you the first one to get a picture, or did you find that online?
No, I took that picture.
You took that picture. Okay, that's what I thought. So you came across them in your store, and so on Friday when I got home, I told my wife, I was like, me and the girls, we've got somewhere to be. And I didn't tell them what we were doing, but we went to a couple of Walmarts, and we struck out at both of them. So there was no disappointment. I had to get some stuff for the house anyway. But I did tell them afterwards because they were like, hey, we're at Walmart. We've been out for a while. How about a little toy? And I was like, okay, so here's the deal. If you wait, I plan on buying some of these. So anyway, Lexi definitely has a lot of these that she wants. She does collect some of these anyway. The Disney series. She loves Lego. She's been playing with Lego for 2 or 3 years now. She's got a pretty big collection, bigger than any collection I ever had. And and of course, I want the DuckTales and the Chip 'n Dale and that Mickey and Minnie because I'm a huge fan of Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, and I mean the Steamboat Willie set's $90, so
yeah, I'm not buying that.
If you just want the minifigures, they're going to be about $3.99 each, so totally worth it.
Yeah,
great characters in this series. If people buy them, they'll make a series 3, and maybe we'll get that Darkwing Duck.
So how many Walmarts did you visit, Steve?
I went to the one. I was looking for random other things, but I'm always going to go by the toy section, and woohoo, found something.
Yeah, I went to 2 other Walmarts and 2 Targets, and still nothing.
Yeah,
all the guys of shopping for other things.
May with all the stuff coming, hits, we'll definitely see more at Target and other places. So,
yeah, our friend Eric over on Twitter, Instagram, and everywhere else, because Eric's all over the place with Disney stuff. He wrote a blog for us over at DuckTalks, and because he came across brickfinder.net, which is a Lego group, kind of like how we follow DuckTales. They follow Lego, but they had a diagram of what to feel for, how to find these. And so he wrote up a quick blog about, there's ways to get help on finding these. And then we linked back to their original blog for people to actually see the image. And I know he's been looking for them as well. He's gotten his hands on a few. Brick Seeker, isn't that the website you've used before too?
Yeah, that's how you can just plug in a UPC or code, and it'll tell you if there's any in stock at the store.
Yeah, so they are in stock in my area. They're just not on shelves. So May 1st, tomorrow for us, we'll be stopping by a couple of Walmarts tomorrow.
Yeah, Scrooge is an easy feel because you're looking for his cane, and you can also see if you can find his number 1 dime in there with him, and his top hat, and then the Louis one was kind of easy because I felt the flashlight that he has and his cap that for his minifigure. So yeah, you can find the ones you want if you can get the good feels going.
Yeah, I always feel awkward in the toy aisle checking through all the blind bags.
Yeah, I'm that guy.
Even when we did the money stacks, I was just like, kind of casually walking by the end cap.
You just got to own it. I mean, you'll get the stares. I mean, parents will just look at you and like tell their kids to walk away. But you know what? You're saving money, and that's the Scrooge McDuck thing to do.
I don't need a bunch of duplicates, but
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy for me. If I'm going to duplicate, it's just going down the line to one of the kids. So I'm fine there. But I was able to be very successful with the packs that I felt.
Yeah, and if I get duplicates of the characters I want, Lexi wants them as well. So it's I'm not as worried, but a little into it, I'll quickly get to the point where I've got most of those and be searching. So.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want 6 Edna modes.
Right? I think that was like all the Duck merch that we were going to talk about. We did go to, right? Yeah.
Well, also coming this month from Fantagraphics, we have 2 major volumes. We have Carl Barks Volume 20, which Fantagraphics puts out 2 Carl Barks Disney Library volumes per year. So this will be the first one. And then in September, there'll be the second volume this year, which is volume 21, Christmas in Duckburg. So we have that to look forward to as well in May. And also the Duck Avenger Strikes Again, which is Disney Masters volume 8 by Fantagraphics. And that is on everybody's wish list because people want to know more about Duck Avenger. Maybe he'll even show up in DuckTales one day. Who knows?
That'd be a fun storyline. I hear you can get these at your local comic shops. Like, you can ask them to order them for you. A lot of shops can do that for you. But if not, we've included a link over on our blog that you can go to Amazon and purchase them. So if you've got a place locally and you can support a local shop, do that. If not, use the links over on our blog and you can support DuckTalks. No additional cost to yourself. We added a social media platform for DuckTalks this past week. We'd had some trouble with Instagram in the past, but we worked through it because a number of people had said, hey, just follow me over on Instagram and we'll communicate. We're like, well, we don't actually use Instagram. We do now. The content over there will be a little bit different. Pirate and Josh are really good with photography, so I'm going to have them send me a lot of pictures that I can post over there because my stuff's, like really, really cruddy. But we'll be doing a little bit different content because I didn't realize this. You can't post links on Instagram. Apparently that's a big no-no. So we won't be linking to our blog, but we will include possibly some images that were used in the blog to talk about it and to tell people that there's something new or a new episode of the podcast. But it's been fun this weekend and this week, kind of, finding new ways to engage with people. I say that to say, we reached out on social media on multiple platforms and asked a question for tonight's podcast. We asked, I was going to redo the question, but I'm just going to read it the way I put it because it didn't happen. Recording tonight, because we posted this yesterday, most likely. We thought we would ask, what May episode of DuckTales are you most looking forward to and why? We got a huge response, and that just tickles us to death. We're very thankful for everyone that reached out. Probably not going to read all of these because we're down to like the last 8 minutes of the podcast, but I do want to read a few of these, and I think we even got an email response. So Drummer Girl 231, one of our newest contributors to the website, she's been blogging over at DuckTalks for the last week or so, and also has a great Tumblr. You should go check that out. Nothing can stop Della Duck because Della. Second place would be the Golden Spear because Duck Twins. Heck yes. Definitely a couple of Della episodes here that she's excited about. I know a lot of people responded that they were excited about the Della episodes. Some people even said, I don't know what the names were, but it's the episodes about Della. That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, we got an email from your question about asking what people are excited for. And Nicole wrote to us and said the Della episode as well. And also she's excited for the episode, the Gander D episode. Because I think a lot of people are missing Fenton and Gizmo Duck.
Yeah, we need some more Gizmo Duck.
Yeah. And Gander D is a great callback to the original show.
It's going to be fun to see how they change her up.
So, we got a... Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. On Twitter, we got a tweet from Turtle Duck Dog 1, and they said, just one? You can't just choose as one. Fine, I will get back to you on that. So at first I thought Della episodes could count as one, but I'm really excited about Friendship Hates Magic. And then there's the lamp one with the whole teeth brushing. I talked about that earlier. And I asked my dogs what is their favorite meal, and they always say the next one.
Okay, on Twitter, Rafaela says, the Golden Spear because I'm expecting great parallels between the twins. I'm also excited for Nothing Can Stop Della Duck and Friendship Hates Magic. And I think we said one. Everybody sent us like 2 or 3, or there's a few people that sent us huge lists of episodes. But I'm really I agree. I'm excited about the Golden Spear because that's the one that said there's a B story that has Donald trying to go to sleep or something. And I'm wondering if that's going to be the zombie story because we've seen some clips on one of the promos with zombies and Donald trying to nap because he's in a hammock. So I'm looking forward to those parallels as well.
I'm looking forward. I've said it before. The Darkwing Duck episode. There, Frank has said there's one that hasn't been announced. We're just going to call it that.
The Darkwing episode.
And it is, that one. Since I'm going to play by the rules, not like anybody else did, but that's the one episode I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, Carl has a list of episodes that he's excited about. I love it. I'm excited about all these episodes as well. We also, a friend of ours, Afui, says that it's the Nothing Can Stop Della Duck. She's excited about that episode. Everybody's excited about that episode.
Yeah, and that'll be fun for Della Duck marathons when they play all 3 of the Della Duck episodes or however many there are in a row. That'd be a good time.
We got a tweet from Quivering Quack on Twitter, and they said that 87-cent solution because it airs on their birthday.
Happy birthday, Quivering Quack. On whatever date that is. I don't remember. But it's coming up. So we'll celebrate on that day.
It's in May.
It's in May. Joey Wheeler said, do I even have to answer this? The one Gladstone returns. Even, and the least, of course, where Goldie returns.
I would love to have her try to choose between a Gladstone or a Magica episode.
Ooh. Let us know.
That's her 2 favorites.
Yeah. So Technicolor Pachyderm says, I love that name. I'm really excited for the dangerous chemistry of Gandra D. I can't wait to see Fenton again. Also, the time traveling episode, the 87-cent solution seems like an amazing episode. Agreed. And then one last one. Jordan Duke says, can't remember the episode name, but the upcoming arc where Lena comes back. We are looking forward to Lena returning. Such a great character in the first season, and the voice actress did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, we need more Lena merch. I mean, I feel like she's a popular character enough where she could get her own merch. Besides the one figure we got from Fat Mojo in the Money Stacks.
Yeah, hoping to see a figure in their action figure line. See how many times I can say figure. But would like to see some more, definitely. And the girls would love to have some shirts or pretty much anything with any of the female characters. That's their big complaint. Every time I show them something, hey, look, there's something new DuckTales. They're like, where's Webby? Like, that's true. It's absolutely true. My hope is the reason why we've had some discussion over on social media about the fact that DuckTales maybe lost some space over at Target as far as their section of the toy aisle, and I'm kind of hoping it's because they've either going to be moving over to the Disney aisle, which is more boy and girl stuff. Because my girls give me a hard time whenever I go, let's go look at the DuckTales stuff. They're like, that's in the boys aisle. It's like, there's no boys aisle. Guys, I think that's it for this episode. Anything parting shots?
What, we're 2 podcasts away from new episodes.
Oh yeah, from the marathon.
The marathon month. I'm just excited for that.
I am excited about it, but I'm also like, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna make this work? And everybody's been very supportive over on social media.
They have been. They're like, we don't know what you're going to do.
Well, we've had a number of people say, just do it one episode at a time. We'll wait on them. And I think that's awesome. Because, we don't do a lot of in-depth of the episodes. We do the 30-second recap, which I'm looking forward to returning, especially since we'll get to do like 7 per episode. But then we, talk about our favorite parts and maybe some of the big stuff. We don't really go really deep into the episodes, so we can cover a few episodes per podcast. But, maybe we change it up a little bit on our analysis and our discussion of the episode. I don't know. We're thinking through it, so send us your ideas. ducktalkspod@gmail.com. Hey, before we go, let's tell people where they can find us. DuckTalks.com. That's the blog. That's where you can find our articles and blogs and lots of fun stuff. You can also follow us on Twitter at DuckTalks. If Tumblr's your thing, search for DuckTalks. You can find us there. I believe we're DuckTalks Podcast. I'm not exactly sure how Tumblr works. We recently joined Instagram, and I can tell you where to find us there. We are DuckTalks Podcast, because DuckTalks Pod was taken. Who knew? You can find us individually over on Twitter. I'm at Infinirama616.
I'm at the Pirate Steven.
Find me at CCRunner524.
And if I haven't said it before, and I'm pretty sure I have, you can email us ducktalkspod@gmail.com. That's it. That's the episode. We're done. Good night. Thank you.
Stay glum golden.
Woo!
I haven't even looked at the levels. Do I sound good on your all's end?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see you guys. Not all at one time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Or am I? I'm good.
Yep.
The people that were there on the DuckTales front were Frank Angonez and Matt Youngberger.
Youngberg.
And
That's our joke.
We'll do that again.
So on the new, and now I'm switching back over to the tablet. Hold on. I need a new tablet. Actually, I'm not going to say his last name because I don't know that I'm saying it right. Yeah. Do you know it?
No, but I love when you pronounce people's names. that always makes the bloopers.
Actually, it usually doesn't make the bloopers.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah.
We got another tweet from Quivering Quack at Drake Wing, and they said the 87 cylinder. I can't talk. Let me start that over.
A blooper that's not mine. Anyway, I gotta cut that out. You can follow us over on Tumblr if that's your thing. We're DuckTalks Pod, and then over at, isn't it DuckTalks Pod? For some reason, I'm thinking it's not DuckTalks Pod.
If that's your thing.
Do what?
It's not your. If that's your thing on Tumblr, you can follow us. Obviously, not your thing.
I think it is DuckTalks Pod. I don't know how do people find us over. Tumblr's a mystery to me. I cannot figure out how to use it properly. I'm just going to hand it off to Josh. We are.
I'm the one who doesn't know what to do.
We are the Duck Talks podcast, but we also have the name Duck Talks. So yeah, okay. So if Tumblr's your thing, go.